Welcome to the Christian Record. Today we have another song spotlight for you, and this is going to be for the song Lifeboat, which is by Steve Taylor. Came off of the album On The Fritz, and that was out in 1985 off of Sparrow. And this is going to be kind of an interesting experiment, maybe, to see what the YouTube algorithm does with this and how it handles it. Basically, because Steve Taylor, if you know anything about him, he's known mostly for using pop rock music along with a sarcastic wit to make many statements regarding, of course, current events at that time, and both in and outside the church. And today we're going to look at one of those songs that was quite popular when it came out, but it seems to have been forgotten over time. But the message is still very poignant for today, and you'll see why I kind of joke about YouTube and how it will handle this, because in essence the song discusses the value of life. And today there's a battle over the value of life at its beginning and whether we will stand up and protect life in the womb. Then there's a similar debate over whether we should weed out those with disabilities as we get more and more technology and have the ability to prevent these things. And as technology advances, some seem to think we should pick and choose who gets to survive. At the other end of the spectrum, we have the debate on euthanasia, and much of this centers, and especially over the last decade or so, centered around the ability to afford to care for these individuals. And many want to reduce the healthcare costs simply by reducing the number of people who are using the resources. And so we're going to take a closer look at this song, Lifeboat, and see how the message of the value of life is presented. So the song begins in a classroom setting. So it's basically a story, so to speak. And there's a teacher and some young students, and the teacher greets the students, and that's when we find out her name when the students respond to her. But the teacher is played by Steve Taylor, and he does so by imitating a woman's voice. And they say, Mrs. Aryan. And if you know anything about history, that's a reference to the Aryan race that was created by Hitler. And supposedly these were the best of the best that evolution was creating. And kind of like X-Men, right? That evolution had gone a step forward and created these perfect specimens. And so that's where the word Aryan comes from. So back to the song, the students are introduced to what the teacher calls is a game, basically their assignment, and it's called Lifeboat. And Mrs. Aryan explains that it is a lesson in values clarification. Basically, it's a euphemism, and she explains it to the children, and I'm going to read what she says in the song. It says, values clarification is where your little minds decide which lives are worth living and which lives are worth not living. A big ship just sank. There are 5 people on the lifeboat, but the lifeboat is only made for 2. I'll list the 5 people on the chalkboard, and you, class, will decide which 3 will be thrown overboard. So basically eliminated. And each of the members, of course, are listed on the chalkboard and talked about, which are different categories, you could say, of life. So we go through the different categories here, and first she starts with the elderly. So there's a crippled grandfather, and then second is a mentally handicapped person in a wheelchair. And then, of course, the children want a little bit of clarification, and Miss Arian says it means they can never be a productive member of society. Ain't that a great sentiment? Anyway, third, there's an overweight woman on welfare with, as she says, a sniffling, whimpering baby. And then fourth, a young white doctor with blue eyes and perfect teeth. Of course, blue eyes. That would be kind of the Aryan thing, blonde hair, blue eye thing. But doctor with blue eyes and perfect teeth. And then Joan Collins. Now, that kind of dates the song. Many people watching this video may not even know who Joan Collins is, but she would have been considered, I guess, a specimen of wealth, beauty, and she was involved in many endeavors, but at the time of this song, she's probably most famous for the role that she had in the television series Dynasty, and so that's how she ends up included in this song. But anyway, back to the song. The children quickly make up their decision and start to sing the chorus. And they show that they basically have learned very quickly because it's using his sarcasm, the children are very rude in their descriptions on how they are eliminating people from the lifeboat. And so it says, Grandpa is gone because he's old. The baby is gone. And they say, throw over Fatty and we'll see if she can float. And the chorus ends with a very derogatory, throw out the retard so he won't be rocking the boat. So you can see they're presented as very heartless, uncaring children, which is exactly what Mrs. Arian wanted in the first place. So they're doing exactly what they're being taught. And so just like that, it's very easy for them to decide who lives and who doesn't. Now the song switched gears as it starts to close. So they do another experiment, which is a gravitational experiment. And the children are supposed to, Galileo thing, toss things out the window and see which one drops. And they decide to toss Miss Arian out the window to see if she will bounce. And so they sing a chorus and they laugh about that. So, of course, Miss Arian is very shocked and, of course, plummets out the window, and I guess is eliminated as well. And so I guess the irony is that she found it very easy to discard others, but didn't expect it at all when it came back to bite her, and she is discarded. And so after throwing her out the window, the children finish the song by singing the chorus to Lifeboat again. And while this song is interesting to talk about and remember as part of Christian music history, it can be fun to listen to and even sing along a little bit. But the message itself is a sad one that still resonates today. Without a proper biblical worldview, life can become meaningless. Survival of the fittest, we're all just animals. No. We are not all just animals. We are created and made in the image of God. And so we are God and Christ's image bearers. And therefore, all life has value. Let me know your thoughts, your comments. Had you heard of this song before? How did you remember it? And there was even a music video for it. So if you remember seeing the music video, and of course, as always, remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode.